Planet X TV.
Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. It is Australia Day here in San Diego, coming to you live from Liberty Station, San Diego, and we have an Australian legend here. What's your name?
Susie.
Susie, where are you from?
Perth.
What's going on, copper? You seem like a fair income sort of a ridgy-ditch sort of a bloke. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah.
Here on Planet X, I get no respect.
Racism has no place in society, it has no place in our industry.
Football's racism row has erupted again.
I'll continue to stand up.
This is unacceptable because he's black.
It's a bit of a joke.
It's their voice.
We are racist.
It's shocking.
The backlash intensified.
Strangled.
He knew why it was
We
happening.
need to talk about this.
You get what you wish for.
Suddenly, he wasn't just Adam Goodes the footballer, he was Adam Goodes the angry Aborigine.
My mum is Indigenous, my dad is Irish, Scottish. Growing up, I actually didn't know what it meant to be an Indigenous person.
Suddenly, for Adam, here was a history of invasion, of shooting, of separating children.
I don't think most Australians understand what is racist and what isn't.
Casual racism is there, it's alive and it's flourishing in our communities.
All anyone ever wants is to be respected for who you are.
The 2014 Australian of the Year, Adam Goodes.
I believe racism is a community issue,
It's remarkable. It gives you goosebumps.
and that's why racism stops with me.
That to me was the moment that summed him up.
It's important that we give courage and voice to those people who do want to stand up.
Adam Goodes, if you're watching, this is for you.
The more I learned about what it meant to be Aboriginal, the more proud I got.
He's a champion. And he always will be a champion, Goodsy.
My hope for him is that he can show others that there's a path from the worst of Australia to the best of Australia.
You are watching Planet X. You will eat, sleep, and breathe. Planet X.
Planet X TV.
We're here to celebrate Australia Day, just like the 4th of July. We were founded, settled by the British boats in 1877 by the famous Captain James Cook. And it was inhabited by those folks, and they settled amongst the wonderful Indigenous people, the Aboriginals, that have been here for, 20, 30, 40,000 years?
Right? How do you say it?
Australia.
Australia. Say it right.
Australia.
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 You pronounce the A? Australia?
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Hi, this is Chris for Planet X TV and my longtime friend Cameron Trickey. We're here today to support the tragedy of the Australian fires. So Cameron's from Melbourne. Give us a bit of background in Melbourne right now and what's been going on. I know that there were some recent rains that may have helped, etc.
Yep, so there's just been the extreme weather conditions with record temperatures that have really been a big contributing factor to it. Inconsistent weather patterns and weather conditions here in California and Australia, but largely the drought in New South Wales and Queensland and some of the outer areas of Melbourne have been the main causes of it. Being so terribly dry, along with abnormal dry lightning strikes and the unfortunate arsonists have caused some historic, fires, which has been awful, heartbreaking. That has been absolutely detrimental to the wildlife. They're saying possibly 1 billion animals, and it could be 100 years before they're able to, recapture or get back to where they once were. It's awfully sad. There's some animals that are possibly near extinction. I can't speak exactly to that, but they are fearing some of the animals. The platypus and the koala population have been impacted negatively by about 40%. So there has been some, irresponsible and, mismanagement of some of the brush and protected bush. I'm not, once again, not an expert, but it puts the firefighters under extreme pressure. They're the ones that actually know what's going on. They're feet on the ground. They're living it, and they understand it. And so it's so very, very sad that, this is what's occurring. After the fires, last week they had 4 days of floods and rain. It was raining in some areas that they hadn't seen rain for 2.5 years. Well, because the ground was so dry, there was no absorption, and there were just rivers running through towns and small communities and so forth. And now there are some fires that have ignited again. So it's very unfortunate, knowing that we're only about halfway through the summer. With we pray that and hope that the worst is behind us, but it's very sad, and we're honouring and remembering those that have fallen, that have put their life on the line, especially the 3 Californians that went down in the plane last week, and all of the hundreds of thousands of volunteers that are fighting the fires, those that have lost their homes. It's heartbreaking, but we're here to remember them and honour them, and we want to thank them, and also be aware of the wonderful foundations in the Australian Firefighter Relief Org and the Koala Foundation Relief Organisation too. There are many out there, but today's event, we are donating all the money, all the food, all the drinks, everything towards some of those funds to try and make life a little more pleasant for those that have lost so much.
Planet X TV. Planet X TV.
I'm with an Australian treasure, Mr. Trent Rawlins. What a pleasure to have you here in San Diego. We're going to learn a little bit about Trent's background, his career, and where it's going in the future with boxing. And we're going to touch on a little bit about his native roots. Trent, tell us a little bit about where you're from and your family.
I'm originally from Melbourne, Australia, in Baronia. Grew up there. My father's from Barbados. My father by blood is from Barbados. My mother's from South Africa. I'm a Melburnian, born proud Australian, born in Australia. Moved here about 5.5 years ago to start my professional boxing career as a heavyweight boxer. So I grew up playing, sport was a huge part of my life growing up. So I grew up playing a lot of AFL, Aussie rules football. I mean, I'm a Collingwood supporter. Everyone in Melbourne has an AFL team. It's not like here in the States where maybe some people don't have an NFL team. Everyone in Melbourne has an AFL team. So I grew up playing AFL and even basketball, grew up playing a bit of basketball. But I went off and played a little bit of rugby at the age of 17, late. And from there, I represented Victorian schoolboys. And from there I went, and played a little bit of footy footy rugby league for the under 20s in the Jersey Flag at the Rabbitohs. South Sydney Rabbitohs.
And why did you shift over to boxing? And what was the real calling for you to come to America and pursue a career in professional boxing?
I came down to America. My coach was here at the time, and I was going to sign with a guy called Don King, and my coach was like, "Don't sign with him." I signed with him once, and come down to San Diego, check it out. So I came down to San Diego, checked it out, and here I am. It's a little bit of a smaller city compared to Melbourne, where I'm from. But, it's a great city. You get used to it. The weather's great all year round. You can't beat this weather. I love it here. I love it here.
So tell us a little bit about your upcoming bouts and where we might see you box in the near future, Trent.
Upcoming bouts. I haven't got any bouts coming up at the moment. I broke my hand last fight, so I'm only allowed back in the gym in February. So I broke my hand, my third metacarpal. Knocked the guy out in the first round. Thank God he didn't get back up, because otherwise I would have had to fight with my left hand. So knocked him out, and we're back. We'll probably be back in the gym in February and get back in the ring probably a couple of months. So April, I'd say.
And I hear you're a bit of a collector out there. Your wife's an attorney, and you go around collecting a little bit of money from accidents. Is that correct, or is that just a rumor? Tell us a little bit about what you do for a profession, Trent.
My wife's a personal injury attorney, so our law firm is Rollins Law. So she's the attorney. I work in the office too as a case manager and medical liaison. I'm not an attorney, so I don't give legal advice, but I do work alongside her and in our office and work with our other staff as well.
All right, Winnie Packer, listen up, okay? There's 3 things that you need to remember to be a better Australian. The first one, be good to your mother. The second thing, be good to your mates. And the most important thing is be good to the environment, all right? Because if you're all not good to the environment, then your kids are not going to be good to the environment, and their mates' kids aren't going to be good to the environment, and all of a sudden there's going to be no environment, no one's going to have any mates, and all of a sudden there'll be no more mothers left.
Yeah, be good to your mates, your mum, your dad, and the environment. So.
And don't ever forget, be good to your mates again on Australia Day, because that's all about your mates. This day is all about your mates, right, Winnie?
Planet X TV. Planet X TV.
You got a lot of work to do, son, if you want to play Aussie rules football here. We're here at Aussie 101. How to be an Aussie rules footballer. Play footy.
Actually, since I've seen the Sydney Ballet, I've never seen such good kicks since then. So.
You're unreal. Get fair income, will you? We're here to play Aussie rules footy. We're not talking about dancing. What are you wearing here?
It's a footy jersey. Right?
Irish, Kentucky. That's not a football, mate. We're here to play Australian rules footy. Australian rules football.
What are you talking about with this American football? I'm Winnie Packer. I'm an Aussie rules legend. What are you talking about?
Looks like you've never picked up an Australian rules football in your life.
You're full of malarkey. I don't know what you're talking about.
You've got American football.
Oh, right.
You've got European football, they call soccer.
Okay.
You've got rugby.
Okay.
We're talking about Aussie rules football, okay, mate?
Oh, okay.
This is a footy.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I got a comment. Was the manufacturer like had a little too much to drink when he made this? Because I know it's a little too like fat and not pointy enough, and you can't grab it. What's going on here?
We don't throw the ball. It's made out of kangaroo hide. It's not made out of pigskin. We're talking Aussie rules football here. You don't throw the ball, son.
And what do you do with it?
You kick it and you punch it and you run and bounce it and you can tackle and you don't have to wear pads.
Oh, okay. You want to show me a little bit of that?
Do you want to learn how to play footy?
I would love to learn how to play
All right.
footy.
All right. Well, let's get it on then. We don't throw the ball. We're not quarterbacks. We don't throw the ball like a quarterback in American football. We actually punch the ball on the end. That's how we move the ball around from player to player. Yep, exactly. Yep. Hit it with a fist right on the point. That's not bad. And then go on the other hand. The other side. Well done, Winnie. Good boy. form, mate. Follow through with it. Hands up. Could be a closet Aussie rules footballer. Lovely. And now the bounce. Now we bounce the ball. We don't bounce the ball like a basketball. Ball into the ground. Like that. We have to do that every 10 steps or you get penalised for holding the ball. So you've got to run with the ball, bouncing away from players to either distribute the ball by hand or foot. Okay?
All right.
So you can run as far as you like, but as long as you bounce it every 10 steps.
Every 10 steps.
Okay?
All right. It's not what I'm quite acquainted to, but I think I'm picking it up pretty well, would you say?
I think you're going to be all right.
All
With
right.
a few pre-seasons under your belt, a couple of beers with the boys after the game, a few meat pies.
I like the sound
Roughing
of
you
that.
up.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's my uncle. So.
Okay, now what do you reckon when you do get around to having a beer there, what are you going to drink?
Probably a Foster's, right?
Are you kidding?
Are you in America or Australia?
What's wrong with you, mate?
I don't even know anymore, actually. I'm all over the place.
I'll tell you something right now, mate. Foster's is Australian for goat's piss, all right? We don't drink it. So that's the first thing you're going to learn when you get down there. Now, depending on what state you're in, it's going to depend on what you drink too. But if you go to Melbourne, which is a good spot, make sure you have a VB.
A VB. Okay, all right.
You know what that stands for?
Vitamin B.
Vitamin B, okay.
In your case, it'll be visitor's beer.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Now, if you head over to Western Australia, it's a good spot, by the way. You can have an emu export. You ever heard of that?
A what?
An emu export. You ever heard of it?
No.
You've never heard of an emu export. It's also known as a bush chalk.
A bush
Get your
chalk.
laughing gear around one of those when you go to Western Australia.
All
Wake
right.
up to yourself, will you?
All right.
This guy knows his beer.
All right, yeah, hey.
Also known as wife beater in certain circles as well, but it's not a bad drop. Anyway,
Don't forget about 4X, mate, up in Queensland where the banana benders are.
well, you know they call it 4X in Queensland. You know why they call it that, right?
No.
Because they can't spell beer.
Winnie.
Connect down low.
She's just chasing
Well done. Good.
Oh.
You held the shit up, son. Yeah, well done.
Planet X TV. Planet X TV.
What's going on, Planet X? It's your boy Winnie Packer here again. And today I actually found a bit of a boxer, he likes to claim. Trent Rollins right here. How you doing, mate?
Good.
So that's good. So he's talking a big game over here. So I think we're gonna arm wrestle, and I'm gonna show him that the center athlete with my many different sports and different disciplines is superior just to your average strong boxer. So are you up for the challenge?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Okay, I got to do a bit of a stretch. Sorry, it's a little tendonitis thing. I got my elbow. Okay, hip. Yeah, exactly.
Limber up.
Exactly. All right, here we go. You guys ready? All right, you ready? Can we get a countdown over there?
3, 2, 1.
Oh, I got him easy. I got him easy. No, I got him right where I want him, actually. He thinks he's going to win. I'm not even gassed. I got 100% left in the tank right now. It's not even a contest. You do got a little bit of power behind you. I got to give you that. Oh.
Now for the final lesson, Winnie.
All right.
Go grab me car, will you?
Is it in the rule book, or is it?
Just go grab me car, please.
Quickly. All right.
Hello there. My name is Jakai Mickelson, and I'm a Planet X viewer. And I'm here to give you the message I received a couple years ago. You should be watching Planet X. You should be watching nothing but Planet X. Look into my eye and realize you should be watching Planet X. There is nothing else but Planet X. Quit your job and do nothing but watch Planet X.
Cameron, I kind of forgot you drive on the left, not the right side, so I might have hit a tree with your car. Sorry about that.
We got problems then.
Hey, mate.
Outstanding. Look at him. Okay. Go like this.
Woohoo! Did you see that one? That was a sausage roll.
Planet X is one of the world's leading action sports brands. Get on board and enjoy the ride.